I need to save those children for Australian Western values, which is half of their heritage. And let's remember, we're in Australia.
Mohammed Nadaf allowed his wife Ashley to die after claiming he found her tied up with more than 100 injuries inside their Craigieburn garage in 2016.
It should have been murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, following that, you've been in touch with DHS. Obviously, you've got grandchildren. Your daughter's Ashley's kids.
That's correct.
Can you tell us what happened when you reached out to DHS?
I pretty much got the distinct impression of, what did I want? Why was I there? And how could they possibly help me? That wasn't said to me in so many words, but that was the feeling that I got.
What do you want?
What do I want? I would like to meet my grandchildren.
And to be able to get there from DHS's point of view, what are the steps? What do you understand them telling you?
Basically, I got the clear impression to be more familiar with Muslim, the Quran. It was reiterated to me that the children already have, they're living in their established faith, which is Muslim. So at that point, I didn't know what to say to that. I was a little bit confused and a little bit, quite frankly, angry. Really, I've got two strange ladies here in their 20s telling me basically in a professional way that I need me, the victim's mother, that these children, their mother was murdered, I'm her mum, yet I'm being told to go away to become familiar with that culture, so then maybe then, and only then, may I be able to meet my grandchildren. That made me feel very flat. I was already reeling in shock from the death of Ashley and a few details that were slowly coming out, and I literally, let's just say I politely thanked them, excused myself and got up and left.
So the family that essentially raised a murderer in a faith that you believe killed your beautiful daughter.
I believe that faith killed my daughter, yes.
Now DHS want you to understand it better, to maybe get a chance to meet your grandkids, your daughter's kids.
That's my understanding, yeah. Hello? I didn't realise I moved over to the Middle East. So how about if we're going to acknowledge, heritage and things and get realistic, which at the time I couldn't talk to them about that because I was too emotional. What about the other side of those kids' heritage? They're proud Irish Australian, heritage grandchildren. So yeah, it's why isn't that particular family member being asked to come and accommodate to the Australian way of life? Why isn't that family member, and why isn't DHS, the government, getting behind it and saying, well, let's look after those kids. They've suffered a terrible atrocity. Let's do this. Let's work together on this for the sake of the children. And why not let that mother, who's just lost her daughter in the most despicable, disgusting way, and now it's got to be all under the carpet, and Siobhann's just expected not to meet her grandchildren, and as well ever Siobhann doesn't complain about it, we're not going to worry about it. That's my distinct feeling. That if I go home and don't do anything about it, don't say anything about the kids, to me they might as well be non-existent.
The argument that a lot of the time in any sort of breakdown of families, DHS have this rule where they look at the current situation of the children, and they say, we don't want to change it much. Now in this case, they were brought up Islamic. Right. They're Muslims.
Right.
Do you feel that DHS should look at each case individually, and in this case where Islam actually killed their mum and where they are actually Australian children, that the onus should be on you to understand their culture to be able to connect? Or do you think if the children don't understand Australian values well enough, maybe that should be instilled in them, and the family should actually take some integration program to understand Australian values so they can connect with you?
Totally. I mean, I didn't choose to move over there, so most definitely. There's been no Look, if I can be brutally honest, I did say on public record, and I stand by that I am slowly educating myself. And since last speaking with you, I've just begun to do that. I'm sorry, there's no integration. There is none. None. There's no room to move. And, you know, before even learning what I've been learning recently, when I go back to that DHS meeting, that was pretty much what I was told, but not in so many words. It's like people want to not talk about it, cover it up. You know, yeah, this is Australia, Siobhann, and you're a Vietnam veteran's daughter. Ashley was a Vietnam veteran's granddaughter, but guess what? You've now got to sit down and you've got to learn some disgusting, idealistic religion that I believe has no place anywhere in the Western world at all. And I don't say that through being brainwashed. I don't say that through reading a book. I don't say that through watching videos or watching media. I say that through my own personal experience, my educating myself and my knowledge, and above all, my common sense.
The irony of this is that they're telling you need to learn about Islam, and you are actually educating yourself.
Yes, I'm very passionate about that now.
The unfortunate thing for them is that as you educate yourself, you're realizing more and more, one, that you believe that it actually did kill your daughter,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Yep.
And now, is it pushing you to want to save your grandkids from it?
Yeah.
So do you think the family is going to be more likely or less likely to want you to see the kids as you educate yourself with Islam?
With what little I know already, they won't like it at all, one iota. I don't believe they would give it a second thought.
And what do you think the right thing to do is?
The right thing to do is the government and the system need to stand up and say, okay, stop. Yeah, you know, we're Australia and we accept all religions. We don't judge, we don't discriminate. We don't do racial stuff here. We are a multicultural country. I respect that. But no, I'm sorry. If you've got a religion that teaches you in their Quran, which is, to my version, their Bible, kill the non-believers. You know, it's all against us. It's, you know, we will rule. You know, they will submit. They being us. The more I learn of the Quran and the more I'm learning of Islam and Muslim as a whole, I need to save those children for Australian Western values, which is half of their heritage. And let's remember, we're in Australia. I understand his father was born in Australia. This is all Australia. So why are we pandering to something else that goes against every single grain that Australian people and the Australian government, I thought, stands up for?
So when you talk about saving your grandkids, Ashley's kids, how would you see that?
I want to save her children from her fate. I want to save her children being raised and believed to do nasty things to, you know, Western civilization, to their own country people, to their own blood.
So there you have it, guys. I think what we need to do now more than anything in 2018 to ensure that this is not the future of Australia, it is happening now, is to share this video, share the truth, share the story. Because the fact is that you've lost your beautiful daughter to this murderous cult. And the people that brought up this murderer with that same ideology now have primary care of your grandchildren. And you don't even have access, only for the reason that you don't understand their culture. Meaning, you don't...
Oh, I'm the ignorant one.
You're the ignorant one in Australia.
Yeah.
And that is unbelievable, and that is unacceptable. And as Australians, we need to stand behind you. Okay. Because you are just one of us.
Exactly.
And you stand for everything we believe in. And if we're willing to appease and we're willing to give away our Australian kids to that evil cult, then there is no hope for Australia. So please, share this video with everyone, your friends and family, and let everyone know what's happening here in Melbourne, Australia in 2018. Thank you again, Siobhann.
Thank you.